Great to see you guys here tonight. Lauren, we'll start with you. You've been coming to St Luke's and involved with St Luke's for some time in a range of sort of different things, different ministries. You're now doing the Tuesday Empower with the women. Tell us how you got into that.
As with all things, God is always moving in many directions at once. So it was a combination of things. But one of the things that brought me to be doing this work on Tuesdays was I worked down at Liverpool Hospital. And so every day I would be seeing people who come in with just really tragic and devastating things happening in their lives to do with their health. And my job was to be able to help heal them and care for them and to help them to progress to recovery. And some of that was really hard. Some of the tragic things that happen to people are really quite devastating, and you would hear about this awful stuff and be looking after these people and think, you know, that's really awful. But you dig a little bit deeper and you find that these terrible diagnoses or these awful tragic things that have happened to them are not the worst things that are happening in their life at that moment. There's awful things happening in their homes. They're suffering with food and financial insecurity. There's really, really brokenness in their relationships, and it's not anything that a tablet and a Band-Aid can fix. And so it was kind of frustrating in some ways to be working in this caring industry, trying to help these people heal. And the work that you do in a hospital is very good at healing people from their sicknesses. But if their sickness isn't their worst problem, then it felt a bit ineffective to be really helping those people to get better. Yeah, and so I was really looking for a way in which to be able to move in a way to help people with those other bigger problems that they had going on in their lives, and to find an opportunity to care for people in a broader sense rather than just specific illness, health. Yeah.
Very good. So that gives you a heart for women in particular. And you then hear about Empower.
Yeah.
Through Stu, of course.
Through Stu.
He's like that. He tells everyone about what he needs, and he needed you in Empower. Tell us about Empower in detail and about who attends.
Yeah. So Empower is a life skills course for women. We only take... it's open to all women as long as you're 18 years and over, because we need to just be keeping things safe in that way. Some of the stuff that we look at, and maybe some of the people that attend have had serious hard stuff in their life, and so it's for 18 and over women only. And it's just life skills, not just life skills, it's life skills and helpful things that, we say that it's the broken people that need this kind of help, but the more and more that I engage with the material and facilitate the discussions, the more that I am convinced that in actual fact all women would really benefit from participating in this material. I think some of the topics that we cover are emotional intelligence. We look at strong emotions, setting boundaries, working on relationships, and stress management. And I don't think there's a woman kind of in the world that doesn't interact in some way with their emotions or with other people. And so having skills to be able to build good relationships, to set good boundaries, and to just have an awareness of our own responses, emotional responses to stressful situations, it's very, very helpful in everyone's life in so many different ways, not just for people who are particularly broken. And the women who generally come along, we just welcome anyone. We just meet them where they're at. You don't have to have huge, massive tragedies happen to be engaging with Empower or coming to the course. But we do have some women who do have very tragic and very hard, difficult situations, or are just at the point where things are completely overwhelming and they just don't know where to go next. And so, yeah. our group is wonderful. I have a lovely table up the back. I'm so excited. Yes, give a wave. I'm going to give you a clap. I have a lovely table of ladies up the back there. And I'm super encouraged that you guys have all come along, because that means a lot to me that you would come and be supportive in that way. And we're a very welcoming group. We like to see people come in. We have a heart that really wants to see women be cared for, to have some space to be able to just do some self-reflection and to think about how they can improve things in their lives and in their relationships. And yeah.
Now, you've been doing Empower for a while now. Can you tell us what are the best parts of it and a highlight or two?
A highlight or two. One of the best parts, I love seeing the women come in, and it can be quite nerve-wracking coming into a group from outside. You don't know anyone, and so there's a lot of anxiety that goes along with that, as you could probably imagine, just coming into something cold for the first time. And it's a very kind of a regular pattern that people come in, they're a little bit quiet and shy and don't really know what to expect, and this kind of crazy person up the front just, corralling things and trying to get the chat under control and directing where the conversation's going, and it can be a bit overwhelming, but they come back a couple of times and then they sit next to the same person and then they have a little bit more of a conversation. And one of the things that we do each week is we have lunch together, and I find that to be really, really helpful. Just that time that's informal and we can just be relaxed and have some food. As we know, food really socially lubricates things, and it makes those connections and relationships easier to form. And you see them building connections with other women in the group. And for some of those ladies, that's the first time they've had just a stable kind of helpful relationship and conversation, maybe for a good while. They might have been quite isolated. They might have had really difficult relationships in their immediate vicinity and hadn't really had anybody new come into their social world for a while. So that's really lovely to watch that. And the other thing that I really love is just seeing the ladies to move out of that really hard brokenness and to start to flourish. It's just lovely to see them to come to class and to say, that thing that we did a couple of weeks ago? Well, I tried it and you wouldn't believe what happened. It was exactly like you said. They didn't really like it because it was a change, but I was just firm and I just held my boundary, and now I don't have that persistent problem where that relationship breaks down all the time. And you just kind of go, oh, that's so wonderful. It's just wonderful that with the right encouragement and with the right support, you just build up their self-confidence, and then they're able to take those learnings and to apply them and for their lives to improve. It's really lovely to see.
Collette, sorry. Oh, gosh. Get the name right. Collette, sorry about that. You've been with Empower for a little bit now. Can you tell us how you first engaged with Stu?
I didn't engage with Stu straight away. I was engaged with the women first until I was a bit more comfortable and a bit more ready to...
So we're just chatting about you coming to Empower. How did you first hear about it and get involved?
It was through Break the Cycle in Macquarie Fields when you guys were there. I'd turned up for food assistance and it was running on the day I was there, and they said, go over, try it out, and it was very...
Simple as that?
It was literally running when I was there, and I gave it a go, and
Very cool. And what were you thinking? What were your sort of expectations before you started? Did it sound a bit scary? Did it sound helpful?
I didn't really have any expectations. I was glad there was no sort of balloon bonding and conga lines and things like that. It was a lot more realistic, and that was a lot better. But I don't think I had any initial expectations from it. And
it wasn't terrifying when you got into it?
No, it got easier and easier. It was after about 5 minutes, it was fine. So
Yeah,
you just need that initial 10 seconds to walk in the door and you'll be fine.
Yeah, very cool. And when you went in there, what was your sort of main goal or purpose? What were you hoping that would happen for you?
I'm not sure at the beginning when I first went in there. It was just the first thing that wasn't bad. So it was a good start for me to start my new way. So it was a very difficult time, very confusing. So it was, I had a lot of patience and a lot of understanding with the people there. So
yeah, that's cool. So you sort of dipped your toe in the water, looked like a nice bunch of people.
Well, the first time I was there, I don't think I said a single word.
Yeah.
And now I'm on the stage talking about it. So yeah, you can see the progression there. So.
Yes, correct. That sort of nicely leads to our next question. What did you find particularly helpful?
It'd be the social aspect of it. Definitely just being out of the house, talking to people on a regular basis, being in the world again, like not hiding away. And as it was very much along with my comfort zone. And so I was kind of like, I wasn't forced to come every week, and it was, very relaxed, but they remember you. You're not forgotten. So it's that's nice as well.
That's cool. It's up to you whether you go.
Yeah.
And you go and you change, and good things happen. Your confidence builds. You make good friends. Learn some great skills.
Yeah.
And now you're up on a stage in front of 100 people. It's very gutsy. Put that on your resume. One final question. Where are things at now for you? How are you travelling?
No, much better. What I just said, from where I was to where I am now, it's difficult to think about because it's not me anymore. That's not my life. This is my life now, and it's so much better, and I'd rather keep going this way than go backwards sometimes.
Out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah. So
fantastic.
and you guys wanted me to stay, so I stayed the whole time.
Great. And that's what this ministry is all about, helping us to chuck out the old stuff and put on a wonderful new lifestyle, living for God. Thank you very much for that, guys. Very impressed with your strength of character in getting up here. Let's give them a clap.